Shot. I'm leaving for a while. I'll be saying more on my announcements in a few minutes after this is published. Class 1A have had some really hard work the last few weeks. Lots of physical work and tests. It seemed like they wouldn't be getting a break anytime soon. Luckily they had a 3-day weekend. Not so luckily the dorms were mostly empty. Most of the students went home to their families for the weekend. Only a handful of students stayed behind. That include Izuku, who actually wanted to stay and train his quirk. Ochako, whose parents were able to find some work so they would be too busy for her to come. Bakugo, who just didn't want to see his mom. Todoroki, who didn't want to see his dad. Todoroki and Bakugo mostly stayed in their rooms. Izuku was currently outside training. Alright, time for a break. Izuku wiped his forehead with a small towel to get the sweat off. You look pretty hot, a voice said from behind him. Izuku turned to see Ochako watching him. Oh hey Uraraka, Izuku greeted her while wiping off more sweat. Here, I thought you could use this. Ochako tossed him a water bottle. Izuku drank more than half on the first go. Geez, you should really make sure you bring some water if you're going to train in this heat, Ochako suggested. Actually, Izuku pointed at 3 bottles on the ground. Just how long have you been out here for? Ochako asked with a raised eyebrow. I think about since 7 a.m., Izuku was tired. It's almost 12. You've been out here for almost 5 hours. Ochako said surprised. Why yeah, Izuku knew that she would probably think he's crazy. Ochako just shook her head. That's both impressive and dumb, Ochako teased him a little bit. Well, I think I am about done for today. All Might told me that I should try to rest whenever I can. Izuku threw his towel over his shoulder. He and Ochako started to walk back to the dorms together. You're really close to All Might, huh? Ochako pointed out. Well, you know he's my favorite hero, and since he's here it's a good opposite to learn from him. Anyway, what are you going to do now? Izuku asked, trying to change the subject. He didn't want her to press for any details. I'm not sure. I'm kinda hungry though. Ochako rubbed her stomach. I am too. I didn't even have time for breakfast. Izuku really regrets that. Geez Deku. Hey, I have an idea, how about we do a picnic? Ochako asked. A picnic? I haven't been on one of those in a while. Izuku remembered the last one he went was with his mom. I used to go on them all the time with my parents. It was healthy and cheap. Ochako led him to the kitchen where they started to make things. They made sure to wash their hands first. Wash hands even if there isn't a disease around the world. So what should we get? Izuku asked, watching Ochako grab a basket and a few containers. Story continues below. Sandwiches. Ochako grabbed some bread, turkey, mayo, tomato, and lettuce. Izuku helped by cutting the tomatoes and Ochako constructed the sandwiches. Once done, they placed them into the containers. What else? Ochako asked him. I got something. Izuku opened the fridge and he brought out 2 Dr. Peppers. Huh, I didn't know we had those in there. Ochako watched Izuku put them in the basket. I made sure to keep a note on them with my name so nobody will steal them. Luckily nobody did, Izuku explained. Good. I think we have some cookies. Ochako searched a cabinet and found some, putting them into the basket. Do we need anything else? Izuku asked. No, I think we are good, Ochako said while closing the basket and picking it up. So where are we going to? Izuku asked her. I know a place. Follow me, Ochako led him outside the dorms. They did a few turns and such and they came to a lonely tree despite it being near the dorms. This looks nice. Izuku thought the tree looked pretty. Come on, let's go, Ochako said and they both sat down next to the tree. Ochako opened up the basket and handed him some cookies and sandwiches as well as getting her own food. They are and chatted about things like class, being heroes, and whatnot. Ochako however had a different motive for bringing him out here. So Deku, can I ask you something? Ochako asked. Sure, what is it? Izuku asked opening up his soda can. You don't have to answer if you don't want to but. Do you? Like anyone? Ochako asked as a small blush appeared on her face. Of course I do, Izuku answered. Really? Who? Ochako asked crossing her fingers. Well, I like you, Izuku said. You serious? Ochako had a sparkle appear in her eye. I also like Iida, Todoroki, Kachan is complicated. I actually like most people in our class, Izuku said and then taking a sip. Ochako facepalm. Deku. No, that's not what I meant by do you like someone, Ochako sighed to herself. Then what did you mean? Izuku questioned being clueless. I meant do you have a crush on anyone? Ochako had to be more specific. Izuku had a blush now. Oh. Izuku finally got it, do you? Ochako asked again. I guess. I think I do, Izuku admitted. Can I ask who it is? Ochako asked getting her hopes back up. Why do you want to know? Izuku asked his own question. Ochako's blush increased. Because. I'm just curious I guess, Ochako lied. I don't know if I can say, Izuku said embarrassed. Embarrassed? Why not? Ochako asked. I don't want you to think any less of me if you know, Izuku admitted. Ochako scooted closer to him. I won't think that, Deku. You can choose who you want to be with. I'm not going to judge you for it and if you don't want to share with me you don't have to. Ochako's words made him feel better. Izuku smiled and just decided to tell her. Why you? Izuku whispered. I didn't hear that. Ochako leaned closer so she could hear. I said you uraraka, Izuku admitted louder. Ochako's whole body was now red like that one time. So why you mean you have ACC Kirsch, on me? Ochako wanted to make sure this was real. Why yeah, Izuku nodded and he too was red. Why do you have a crush on me? Ochako asked. She wanted to know why. Well, you're very nice for one. And if not for you I would most likely be dead. And guess getting to know you and be with you since we came here made me get feelings for you, Izuku explained embarrassed. I see, Ochako listened to every word. So what now? Izuku asked. Can I kiss you? Ochako asked. What? Izuku asked even more red. I have a crush on you as well. For a long time and I guess I just got curious as to how you felt and I wanted to know. Ochako felt great to finally get her feelings. Then I guess we can kiss, Izuku agreed to her question. They were both shy at first. They accidentally bumped their noses on the first try. But after the 5th attempt they were able to get their lips to connect. It didn't last long though. And it didn't need to them, it was perfect. And they're both a red mess as well. If this chapter was shit, it's because I am in a very pissed off mood.
Finally, we can relate. Our side by side, this is vain. I knew all along we'd find some way to communicate.